Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Lolly and I want to play with another Arteza product. I have played around with the watercolor paper, but I want to do something new today. Okay, I was thinking about this that I had made before, that I had stamped with a stamp and colored in using the real brush markers. And now I want to do something a little different, similar but different. And that is to use these again, but I think this time what I'm going to do is use a hole punch. This one is Stampin' Up, and I don't think it has, they're not numbered, are they? It would be interesting to have the number of what it is. Anyway, I'm going to punch out some hearts, flowers, just to make some embellishments here. And I'm going to get out this. Now, my main focus today is I want to play around with this new product that they sent, which was the Inkonic. I keep wanting to say Inkonic, but it's Inkonic. Now, I received this at the same time that I received the other Arteza products from them. But I just am now getting around to opening this and playing around with them. So there are 48 of them. They are 0.4 millimeter line triangular barrel, which excites me. I love triangular barrels, and they're water-based ink. So open this up. Ooh, lovely colors. And you can see the colors that they have in here. Aren't they beautiful? Ooh, nice. So let's just pick one up. Yes, this is why I love triangular barrels. They are so nice to hold on to. If you're using, oh, beautiful. So, and you can see the colors also are on the end. So either end, and then there's a number here. It says like A116. And the colors are listed on the back of the tin. But obviously I could use these for journaling. If you're an artist and you draw with fine liner pens, that's a whole nother skill there. If you are into Zentangle and doodling, these would be perfect. And I figured that's what everyone always thinks about doing. I just want to try and do something a little different. So the first thing I want to do is to create a base of color on these flowers. So let me get this wet. Lay down some color. I'm in some water here, and then I'm going to grab a marker. I'm going to kind of go with the lavender again. I really like that look. I have so much water, but if I just keep working on it and pulling and going over it with the marker, then you can see that I'm getting the extra color in there. Now I'm going to blend this out. And I'm going to let that dry. Okay, I'll put that aside. I'm going to get this a little extra color right in the center, and then I'm going to come and pull this little peachy color in here as well. So it's like watercolor, but without the watercolor paints. Well, let's try to blend that out a little bit. I don't want it perfectly blended. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. And, oops, this one I got way too wet here. So another thing you could do is just get some water on your mat here, and then you could just dip the paper into it. Let's get some fun colors here going. All right, so these are going to set aside to dry while I'm going to work on something else. And now for my next thing I want to do, I don't need watercolor paper, so I can also put that away. I'm just going to use cardstock. I'm going to use a nice smooth cardstock. You know what? I think I need to dry this off. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here for you. Now, what I was thinking was sort of like doodling all over this and just grabbing random colors and starting to color. But I'm going to get some darker colors. I love how these look together. One more I'm thinking, I know what I want. It's right here. I think I'm going to go with these colors here for this first thing I'm playing around with. And I'm just going to be doodling by making these swirls. They're very smooth. I was worried about them being a little on the scratchy side, but they're not. They're very smooth in spite of the very fine point that they have. The color is bright. Let's just pull this down and zoom in even more. So imagine if you had a whole page filled with this. This is something that you could do while you were watching television. I'm going to cap these and just stop the project right there. It's very relaxing. It could also do this in a notebook, and then you could use a permanent black marker and write right over it. But here was my thinking. I want to take this there we go. It's a very old punch. It's an old Family Treasures one. And there's my little heart. Isn't that cute? You could just punch out your shapes first and then doodle over them, but I think it's easier to get a smooth marker flow when you're not punching over, drawing over punched areas. So let's see if I can get this star in here as well. Oh, those are so cute. Look how fun those are. I've just essentially made my own pattern paper. Now, don't forget, though, about this is that these are water-based. So if you're wanting to do a project and you don't want them getting wet and smearing, you might want to consider using a protectant over that. I'm going to use the Judykins Micro Glaze here. Just give it a nice little seal. Kind of buff that in there. Probably could have done this more easily before punching the holes. And then take a little tissue and buff that out. Now I'm not going to be worried about that smearing if I, get water on it on my notebook or something. Now I'm going to set these aside because these are all dry now, or dry enough. So what I want to do now is to use these same fine point markers, the Inkonic, and I want to draw inside, now that I've got the watercolor base. These were done on cardstock, not watercolor paper. And these are watercolor, and I just want to draw on them. So I have this nice turquoisey color here, and I want to use this to accentuate, because I could have gone back with the brush markers, but they're not a fine point enough, and these are really fine points, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm just adding some dimension, basically. Very cute. Now, the other thing I want to do is just add a little bit, little dots in here. Think of how many orchids I've had that have had lots of beautiful little dots. And I am lightly tapping. I'm not pounding because I don't want to ruin the tip of my marker. And a little more in the middle. You know, you can accomplish shading just by using dots. I'm making them more heavy in the center here. There we go. Okay, we got that flower. Let's play around with this one. And I think that was actually a red ink. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the red here again. And maybe it doesn't have to look so much like a flower. You could also doodle in the, if you're wanting something more modern. So it's whatever your style is. You want it to look more like a real flower or just like a really Art Deco-y, or let's look at this purple one here. But I'm also going to bring in another color for these dots here. You could also use your distress inks around the edges as well if you wanted to get a certain color combination. Okay, so let's do something with these. Okay, what shall we do? Well, I know I want to make embellishments with these, layered embellishments. So I'm going to look at my scraps. So let's continue using the idea of using up scraps. Now I have this punch that I got for $2 somewhere on sale. Let's see if this will fit. Oh my goodness, just fit. Ooh, cute. I have this cute little stamp that says, "It's your day," and I might want to stamp that out. And let's use a tiny attacher as well. So I'm just going to kind of quickly, without thinking too much, I'm going to change the angle of this. This needs a bit of orange there. I don't know how yet. That, star, star. Need something else. That there. That. And we might need a little bit of foam tape here and there. Actually, I'm just going to use the Oohoo glue stick. I have pronounced this wrong in the past. It is Oohoo, not Yoo-hoo. The very first time someone told me about it, they said Yoo-hoo. That's the American way to pronounce it. And I think I want this piece to go up on foam. So think if you're doing a party, that would be really, wouldn't this be really cute for a party? So cute little tickets right there. And that one, aren't those fun? And then all we have to do with these is just glue them on whatever project we're working on. Again, if you want a little distress, you don't think that it's intense enough, you can always take a distress ink and go around it. Like I've got some, or we have some, we can antique them. Like this, just give them a little like age look to them. And this is the walnut stain. The other thing you could do with these is you can always glue a flat back pearl in the center of them to make them really pop. Let's see what we have. I have my stash right in here. And most of these I've just gotten like on eBay. I also have some that are flower shaped, which would also be cute. Like, look at that. Doesn't that add a lot of extra bling there? These are just circular. But I think that I kind of like these. I can go with the same color, or I could choose a contrasting color. Like instead of purple, put that in the middle. Let's go for it. And I believe I'm going to use my, let's try Jewel It. I've used this with great success. This is called Jewel It. Eileen's. I remember before it came out a little fast. I'm still having a problem with this. It comes out so fast. I need to use my precision tweezers. Putting it in the glue and then sliding it over. I have way, way, way too much glue here, folks. It does dry a bit clear, but let's see if we can do better and just a dot here without squeezing. Much better, much, much better. And this one here, again, and it's me. I think I cut too much off the tip here. I'll show you how much I'm using here. Not much. So that's our quick little project today. Quick embellishments to make. You can do this doodling like this while you're watching television or watching YouTube videos or watching Netflix. And then you've got cute little embellishments to add to your larger embellishments. And we have these flowers. Too much glue here. Sorry about that. Now that it's starting to gel up, I can remove some of it. And it just was so cute and so fun to work with these. I really like the fine point on these. They seem to do really well. And even on some of these, I overlapped the colors and they did pretty well together. So that's our little collection of embellishments today.